Hey folks, Matthew Cook here from the Tactical Dad podcast, and this is episode 1. And I think it is quite fitting that we really go through this podcast talking about me. Who am I? Where did I come from? How did I get here? Why am I doing this? I can't offer any expert advice or any tips or tricks because I am a novice shooter and I am basically documenting this whole process. So let me get into it by first saying I'm Matthew Cook. I am living in America, in Georgia. I won't give out the specifics of my location. That probably isn't a good thing. My wife might kill me. And I originally was born and raised in England, and in a small place called Leeds. I have always been fascinated since a very early age from the cowboys and Indians movies back in, I guess, the good old days. So as a young 5-6 year old kid, I'd have a t-shirt on, I'd have no pants on, running around the house with a belt and a holster and my plastic revolver gun. So I've always been fascinated with guns, even growing up. James Bond lover, always just loved like BB guns, pellet guns, water guns. Just thought it was cool, as a young boy. I guess the stereotypical boy growing up, you played Army Man, you played you guys have a GI Joe in America. We had what's called Action Man. So I had all the Action Man stuff, all the tactical gear, military gear for toys, and I just always thought it was cool. And finally one day moving to America, it's like, wow, I can go and buy this stuff. Like, this is now legal. In England, you can't have any of that. You can have like water guns, BB guns, and some pellet guns. But you can't buy an AR-15 or like a legit Glock, or like a 9mm pistol, like, or a shotgun. You can't buy that in England. You can't own one of them. So coming to America, it was like, what? Holy crap! I can own this stuff. I can go and buy tactical gear, go to a place that allow you to shoot these things, and then you can do like some competitive shooting. This is awesome. There are some places in Georgia, by law, there's some sort of law in certain parts of Georgia where you have to own a gun, or maybe not have to, but like you're encouraged or strongly urged to own a gun. Wild. So I get to live out all my James Bond childhood dreams, and then my God, John Wick came out, and now I just want to be like the best tactical shooter on the planet, all because of good old John Wick. Keanu Reeves, Mr. Matrix himself. And so I'm in America. I love guns. I love tactical. I love the whole space now that it's a reality for me. And when you live in a place where that's legal and allowed, and you have children, it then it takes a completely different spin. Like, it's a whole new perspective. Like, I've heard the saying, and many people have, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. It's like in America, in many places, criminals and just dangerous situations, and there's lots of bad things that happen in the world. And now with the types of communication, the amount of ways we can communicate at such a rate, the whole world is now more aware of all of these bad things that happen. And when you have children, you just become very protective of your children. So now I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. So my initial thought is, I need to know how to use and be competent with a gun, with firearms, with guns and knives, and like within a tactical sort of self-defense situation, I need to know how to use these things well, operate these things well, be competent to protect my family. Because, you know, in England, like I grew up in sort of in kind of a rough place, like the good part of a bad neighborhood. But I had some crazy friends, and we would, you know, it wasn't um, unlikely that we would have that we would. It was very likely that on an every other week basis, I'd be in a fight, or one of my friends would be in a fight, but it's a fist fight, no guns or knives. So if you get broken into in England, like if you have a dog or if you live in that area, you kind of just think, I'm gonna chase after these people, go downstairs, confront these people who are trying to break in my house and beat the crap out of them, like fist fight style. You can't do that in America. Not when that person that's breaking into your house or in one of them types of situations is gonna probably have a gun. What are you gonna do? Nothing. So you need to protect yourself with that. So I'm getting into this space now with, getting into this space in an accelerated way because I have children and I want to protect my children, protect my family from all of these wild, crazy things that happen in the world. So one, I think it's cool. I'm in this space and I'm in this area now because I think it's cool and I want to be James Bond. I want to be the next 007. But then the other reason is I want to protect my wife and my children and my family. And now that I come from England and I'm in America, it's a reality to do that. And in a lot of cases, it's probably a good thing that you know how to work a firearm. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. And this podcast, each one of these series, you know, for probably quite a while, it's going to be aimed at the new gun owner, someone that's in a similar situation to me. And I'm going to be sharing what I learn from experts that I'm hanging out with, from what I read, from what I study. I'm just going to be documenting my whole process. Just for the person that's in a similar situation or someone that's even newer to this world than me. I doubt I'm going to blow any minds from, you know, veterans and very experienced gun owners. If anything, I might give you guys a laugh, or you girls a laugh. But yeah, that's the podcast. That's how it's going to go. And I suspect over time I'll get much more knowledgeable and I can help a bunch of people out along the way. I will also, these podcasts are going to be pretty short. This one's at 8 minutes. That's already probably a little too long. So they're going to be short and sweet. And they're going to probably keep going on for a very long time because it takes a very long time to become an expert. So I'll check in with you next time.